Well, hello everyone, and welcome to my webinar on this day, which is the 9th of October. I think it is the 9th, yes. So this is all about focusing on ways to generate more revenue. So thank you very much for joining this webinar, and it's all about ways to increase revenue for your business, and why you should focus on customers that will boost your sales within your business. So welcome to the webinar. My name is Colin Wilson, and I'm here to educate you over the next 30 minutes. So let me get started. So everyone is on mute, and I just want to make sure you can hear me. So those who are on the webinar, could you please just put a message in the chat? Yes, Colin, I can hear you loud and clear, and I can see your screen because that's very, very important. So I'll just wait 2 seconds to see if I get a message on the chat. Beautiful, thank you very, very much. Okay, so today's session will cover understand the value of great customer service, how to focus on customer insight and foresight for your business, and then how to promote and cross-sell, cross-sell and upsell in your business, and how to get that, if I can say, that culture happening within your business. And there's nothing wrong about sales. Sales is not about pushing somebody into something they don't want. It's also about educating them about, well, this is what we can do for you as well. And I'm very passionate about making sure that people in your company know your products and services, know your systems, so therefore they can make those recommendations. As I said, my name is Colin Wilson. I'm a director of Key Business Advisors. We've been going for 14 years. Absolutely love what I do, and we help many businesses through many aspects of growth within their business. There's actually 4 key pillars to our business, and that is business strategy and growth. We're all about employee engagement. So employee engagement, make sure you've got a great culture. We're an outsourced HR business where we cover everything from recruitment right through to termination, and we do a lot of training, professional sales training. And today is just a taste of what we actually do. What's important is always linking it back to what your mission is within your company. So for me, it's about our mission is take our businesses from good to great. So, we go into companies, one of our team meetings this morning, one of the things that we talked about is about what have we done to help businesses go from good to great. We had a couple of really good case studies. And I think that's really important because that builds energy within your business. And as it says, our purpose is to take our customers on a journey to help them improve through all aspects of their employee engagement and performance. So I think, it's really important that, you get your team behind what your mission and purpose is of your business. I spoke about this before. This is what we specialize in, and it's really, really important to make sure that, we cover all those aspects within helping a business to go from good to great. Okay, so my very first topic is about understanding the value of great customer service. And I think, before I get started, as consumers, I always talk about, just how important it is for when you go and spend your money. So, over the weekends, I went out for dinner a couple of times. I, went to purchase some goods with my wife. And I think what was important is I always think about, well, how good was the customer service? Did that person at the other end work hard for my money? And that's the thing that I talk about in lots of businesses. Do people in your company work hard for your customers? Because at the end of the day, we've all experienced what poor customer service is. But I think if you think about the value of great, and this is about culture, the value of great customer service is about client and self-satisfaction. So I'm very big on this within our business at Key Business Advisors, that we have a client, we want to make sure that they're happy with our services, but just as important, you as the HR consultant or the business consultant in this business, you are also have that self-satisfaction yourself that is going to make it worthwhile. I had a meeting at 11 a.m. this morning with a young lady, and she walked out ecstatic. I had that self-satisfaction. I've done a good job. So we want to make sure that everyone in your company who serves the customer, has this belief in them and that passion to look after your customers. Why? Well, it generates repeat business, and repeat business is everything for a business. And sometimes we don't win them all. That's just how it is. But our goal and our aim is to make sure that we try and help our customers as best as possible that will generate repeat business. Because if you have repeat business, then that's going to help your business to grow. Customers are also willing to pay and want more too. So I think the better experience you give a customer, the more they'll pay and the more they'll want more. So, a great example, I went out for dinner on Saturday night. Would I go back there? Yeah, I would. Would I die to go back there? No. But on Sunday, I was out to lunch at a place. And would I go back there? Absolutely, because the experience I felt was better and the food was just amazing. So again, it is about understanding that, so whether you're a professional service type of business or a retail business or a trade business, it doesn't matter. Customers are willing to pay more if they get that, see that they get that value. I also think too, as part of the opportunities, and I'll talk about this later about the cross-selling, is to identify future opportunities. So one of the things we talk about is customer, what do they want now and what do they want in the future, which I'll cover in this webinar. Also too, if you've got great customer service, will help with Google reviews. And at the moment, as consumers, we are trained. I think COVID has taught us this, that, if we're going to go and spend our money, we're going to go and do research. So we go on accommodation to a hotel or a restaurant or a hairdresser or a dog grooming place. We're going to look up the Google reviews and go, well, okay, they've got good reviews. Okay, so this must be a great place, so I'm going to go and invest in that. So I can't drive that hard enough for all the clients that I work with. You've got to get the Google reviews up. And if you like this webinar today, I'd love you to give me a Google review as well. And likes on social media as well. So as you post things on social media and things that you do, people who like what you do will also, they'll give you the thumbs up on social media, and that all adds value to your brand, which is that next point down. It increases the value of your brand. So again, great customer service. As consumers, we might say, oh, do you know somebody who could do this? That referral is what it's all about, and it's that brand that makes it happen. And I think what's important is, and again, this is it's a free webinar, but being referred into a business, I always say you're like 70, 80% there in winning the business. Pardon me, because being referred. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a dry cough. And I think, it also will future-proof your business so you can grow. So the secret is, I give great customer service. Customers still want to keep coming back. They refer, and organically we get to grow. And I think loyalty is a big thing, that you want your customers to be loyal to your brand, loyal to your people, but don't take them for granted, because there's lots of competitors out there that are trying to knock on the doors of your competitor or market to them in some form of way to take them away from you. So again, having that high level of customer service, I think, is really, really important. Okay, so providing great customer service, this is what it's about. And I have this thing called 10 steps for customer service, but it's all about how you let customers know what you can do for them. So, this is what I can do for you today, right? So I'll let customers know what I can do for them, and let's see if we can help them. You want to be focused on being a service-based business, right? So focus on being of service. So, and I think for me in our company, one of the things that I talk about is you don't just buy one person. You actually get a team of professionals that are prepared to help you, take you on a journey, help you get to that next step. So I think you want to focus on being of great service and be confident and have a positive can-do attitude. So this is your team. So they've got to be confident. And one of the things I talk about is product knowledge or systems knowledge. If your staff haven't got high knowledge of that, then how can they be confident and have that positive can-do attitude? I might have a passion for the industry, and that's great, and we want that. But also too, what's important is making sure that your staff have got really good inside knowledge of your products and services and systems. Part of sales, and it is part of customer service, is listening to the customers. So, I always talk about when, in a sales process, you want to do your introduction, open up a conversation, and fill up a bucket of information. So I think what's important is when customers come into your business, it's about you listen to the customer, whether they've got a complaint or whether they've got a need. That's what it's all about, rather than just trying to flog a product, which customers don't like that anymore. They like to be educated. They don't like to be sold to. They like to be educated. I think it's important also to read the body language, know how to read the customer and demonstrate initiative, take control. So listen to what they're saying, read the body language, and make sure that you are I don't want to use the word mirror them, but make sure you're engaging with them, that you're on the same page, which is really, really important. Always make sure that customers want to continue to come back to you. So, one of the things that I talk about is there anything else that I can do for you today? Anyone that does any form of training with me, I always talk about ABC, always be closing an outcome. So if you want to say to them, well, how about I get back to you? Do you want to come? Do you want to set up another time, or do you want to come back into the store later on? Whatever it may be, you always want to make sure that you're continuing those customers wanting to come back to you. And I always make this joke about one of our clients that we have, but this client has been with us for 14 years. They're a great retail business in the hospitality sector. And one of the things they always talk about, or the owner talks about, is sell yourself. If you sell yourself, and then customers always want to come back to you, then that means that we're going to get lots of repeat business. And I think that's a really good thing. We talk about advocates, create an advocate. So an advocate is a person that rates your brand very, very highly, rates the customer service very highly, rates your products and services very, very highly. So this is all about making sure that in our company that we've got to focus on getting those best outputs. And it's not one person, it's got to be the whole company together, that this is what we drive, to drive that success. I always talk about follow-up customers for certainty, to make sure that they're really happy with what you've done. And the big one for me is, if you're an employer on this webinar, look after your staff. You need to train them, you need to look after them, because it is your staff that actually keeps your customers coming back and holds your customers to your brand. So it's really important that we have this, which is the topic of the first one, is creating a real customer service-based business. If you like what I said and you go to our website, you can download our 10 steps to providing excellent customer service. And it's a download off our website. There's plenty of downloads on there. There's also how to deal with angry customers as well. But I think, based on the topic that I've just spoken about, I think it's really important that, you want to create that customer service driven business within your company. And commonly, why do we have a link to HR in our business? Well, if we're not giving good customer service and it's not adding value to your brand, if you've got an employee there that doesn't care, they're actually doing more damage to your business. It takes a lot to get a new client in the business. It's very easy to lose a customer through the lack of that customer service. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my topic one. My next topic is about how to focus on customer insight and foresight. So to me, it's about how do you have a customer-centric business? So we are part of a customer-centric model and this is their model, and I really love it because it's all about understanding, well, okay, how do we have customer centricity in our business? And what you can see there around this graph is the first thing in the green over there is customer insight. And one of the things I talk about is, well, what do your customers want today? And again, if I come in, I'm a mobile phone shop, I've got a broken phone, well, obviously it's pretty obvious what I need. I need a new mobile phone. But what's their foresight? What do they want tomorrow? And I think what's important is if you create like a customer-centric model in your business, that we're all about being customer-centric, we need to be really strong about what our customers want today, but also more importantly, what do they need tomorrow, and have that future foresight for them. A lot of times, I talk about customers come in and they've got a need, but the need might be greater. So, in any consulting form of business that you're in, there's this thing that you do, that you have a conversation and you open, pick up a rock, and there's something under a rock here that, okay, the customer needs this, but then there's other rocks that are around it. Oh, they also need this and they also need that as well. And it's not about you selling that down their throat. It's about you educating them and saying, well, look, based on our conversation, here's some of the things that we can do for you. Don't be mistaken, but if you look at competitor insight, well, what are your competitors doing? What might they do? What might they do to try and take market share away from your company or your business? What they might do today and maybe tomorrow. And we've experienced this through Uber, right, is a great example. So for an example, the taxi industry has been doing same thing for 100 odd years. Yet along pops up Uber, which is all done on an app. Makes it easier for the generation, especially the younger generation who love their mobile phones, and they come and disrupted the taxi industry. And there are many companies out there that try and disrupt other competitors. So you look at your business, say, well, okay, what am I in control of? And look at our competitors, what are they in control of? And if anyone does any work with me, I always talk about how do you become the disruptor? How do you, raise the bar with your customer service, with your skills and knowledge of your people, and create that perception and that persona that we're a much well-driven business, and we take market share off our competitors. And you just go and do it. We can't control the peripheral vision. We can't control an election, the pandemic, and the pandemic has hurt so many businesses. We can't control interest rates. Business still needs to keep going. So, for people who talk to me about, well, how do I build a sustainable business? How do I grow? Well, I always talk about what do your customers want? Develop your products and services around what your customers want and showcase to them. And, my motto at Key Business Advisors has always been, if I have 3 customers that ask me the same thing, can you do this for us? Then we turn it into a product. And then, that goes up on our website, which you can have a look at. There's over like 42 products that we sell within this business or recommend. And that's based on what customers have asked us, can you do this? Most importantly, if you want to get engagement with your team and really build that customer-centric model, you would need to have some sort of strategic alignment. And I talk about what's your strategic plan, or do you have a tailored business plan? Because, again, we've proven this time and time again to try and keep employees, to get them engaged, to get them motivated. You show them the plan, this is what we want to do, and you raise the bar. And then what we want is that collaboration and that empowerment for people to go and do what they need to do. And I think, look, to me, if you raise the bar, and what I mean by raise the bar, I'm not raising the expectation on the individual, you must do this and you must do that. We want to raise the bar as a company, and organically people should step up and get to where the company needs to be a successful business. I hope that makes a bit of sense. And obviously the benefits of having a customer-centric model is, as you can see, customer satisfaction is really important. I think what happens when you brainstorm with your team and work things out on how we can package things together better or introduce new products or services, that's the innovation. You can see that, you've got new products success that gets happening. Product revenue grows, profitability grows, and that sales revenue growth is what every company wants, especially between now and Christmas, to get us through the Christmas period and into the new year. Okay, so how do I empower my staff to do more? And this is a common question that I get. Well, for me, it's about developing a customer mindset. So remember, let's just have a mindset. How can we improve on helping and supporting our customers? And I think what's important is getting everyone to speak the same language, so we're all on the same page. And I think that's important. And we want a team that can support one another and especially around capacity of work and stuff like that. Like a great example is, and it happened on the weekend. We're in the restaurant and I'm trying to get someone's attention to come over and service. But, it looked like that this person looked after this section and another person on the other side could see me, but didn't do anything about it. So again, I wasn't rapt about that. And that's an experience. That's just an impression that I've got. So it is about improving that engagement. And what could have happened in that scenario is that person could have waved at me and said, someone will be with you in 2 minutes. Just acknowledge me. There was no acknowledgement. You definitely want to implement some form of best practice. This is the way that we look after our customers, this is the way we service our customers. And if their customers are, unhappy, we want to find out why. I also want to put it out there, you can't keep every customer happy. That's just not possible. But we aim as a company or an organisation to be customer-centric to actually try and do that. Definitely the big thing for me, it's about increasing that customer retention. So if we've got our retentions really, really high, where you have a minimal drop-off, and what is acceptable as a minimum drop-off? Is it 5%? I mean, we've got other companies that have got like 70% drop-off, right? So there's obviously issues within the business. So we don't want that in your business. You want to make sure that you've created this retention strategy of this is what we need to do. And again, this is where targets and KPIs and all that sort of stuff come in to try and incentives, if you want to do that, to try and make sure that happens. It's important to have everyone on the same page. And I think the other thing too is it's that trust and cohesion. So customers will go back to a brand that they have great trust with, and they'll always look for the person that served them because they believe in that person and there's good cohesion. So you need to have that trust and cohesion happening internally in your business and also externally with your customers as well, because that's really, really important. A thing that I always talk about is, remember, you need to always acknowledge and reward staff who go above and beyond. Why is that important? Well, staff are everything. Without your staff, you really can't grow your business. And if you've got people that are going above and beyond, you definitely want to acknowledge that. Okay. All right. So my third topic is about how to promote and cross-sell and upsell in your business. And we hear this all the time: cross-sell, upsell. How do we do that? Well, it's a skill in itself to make that happen. But, you know, when I talk to companies and they go, how do I make this happen? I just say these three words: train, train, and train. You've got to keep training your team. You've got to keep practice drilling, rehearsing. You've got to keep training them on things that they need to know. And for me, one of the things that I believe I do a very good job at this at Key Business Advisors is I'm forever talking about business acumen. You know, what is important. And business acumen is about, you know, when I ask this question, not a lot of people know the answer, but it is about understanding how the business makes money all throughout whole aspects of the business. So what does that whole business model look like? And then how do we have really good business acumen that is going to get the company to go maintain where it's at, but even get some growth where it's growing and getting to that next level. Product training, you can't do enough of product training. So product training is where we're learning all about the products and services that that your company offers, whether you be in shoes, whether you be in plumbing, whatever, you need to keep training your team. And I think what you can do is organically, as you grow, you can create team leaders who can actually train as well. So, you know, product training is everything. I do a lot of professional sales training, and when I go in, one of the questions I ask is, does your staff have a high level of product knowledge? And they all say yes. But when we get in there and we start doing some role playing, or we're doing things like getting them to present the solutions back to their team, you can see, I know they're nervous and everything like that, but you can see that some people are good at it and others are not. So product training, that practice, drill, and rehearse is really, really important. The other thing is systems training. So what are our systems that we use internally, you know, to make our processes work? So again, that all gives that great customer experience for your clients. And believe it or not, what's your pricing model? So again, that's a training session in itself. We go through our price book. We explain this is the product of what we're trying to sell and recommend, and this is the system that we process it through. And this is the price we charge. And if we do this right and have no repeat work or have to go back and repeat it, then that creates really good profits, which is good business acumen. Proposals is another thing. Again, so if you have some form of consultancy business, you know, training your proposals and package deals. So consumers of today, they all love a deal and they love things packaged. I mean, we go shopping in retail and you can, you know, buy these three things for this price. And, you know, some companies do it very, very well and others don't, but everyone loves a good deal. So again, part of your product training is saying, well, look, you know, this is a product and service we want you to recommend. And I always talk about never discount, but try and value add another product. So, you know, a great example is I might be recommending a product, and let's say for an example, it costs the customer $2,000 for an example, and they want a discount of say $200. I might have a product here that's worth $200, right? But it only cost me $50 to buy it as a markup, you know, so I've got $150 profit in it. I'm far better off doing that, losing $50 than what I am losing $200. Hope that makes sense. So you always value add and create solutions for your clients. And again, you know, incentives. So again, we see that, you know, there's incentives for people to buy, and that's where a lot of retailers put their sales out the front. So that's for external, but also incentives for internal. If you can package this up and this up and this up, I can reward you this way, maybe create some sort of bonus system or something like that. And, you know, if you're struggling to hit the targets that you need to hit in your business, then you know, I can recommend some great sales training that I could provide for yourself and for your business. So I hope that makes Makes a lot of sense of what I've just gone through. A thing that I always talk about is staff will never recommend a product that they don't know or understand. And when I go and talk to business owners and we go and question the product knowledge, and they say, "Look, Colin, we need to train these guys on how to sell this product." Well, if they haven't got high product knowledge, then they're never going to recommend a product that they don't know understand, because they don't look stupid in front of the customer. So again, I endorse that within your business to try and make that happen. Once you've got all of that, the cross-selling and upselling is relatively easy, because the benefits of doing it, and you do this through your training sessions and brainstorming sessions, is, the benefits is a better solution for your customer. You're getting the right outcome. And then the customers also, you got to think about it, they're looking for advice and recommendations that they're willing to pay for. So again, sometimes when we're, in that sales process and we say, well, look, I think what we can do is we can add this on, and I always talk about the bread and milk theory. So you go to a supermarket, you walk to the back of the shop, and the milk is right at the very back. Why is the milk right at the very back and the bread right at the very back? It's because as customers walk through a shopping centre, through a grocery store, they're thinking, well, what else do I need? Do I need coffee? Do I need sugar? Do I need dog food, cat food, etc.? That's the reason why it's at the back. So when someone's coming to your business or you're going out to their business, you ask lots of questions, and you're always making recommendations of cross-selling and upselling. A win-win outcome for both parties, right? So, and I'm assuming that everyone knows what cross-selling and upselling is, but cross-selling is adding on a complementary product to the product. So, for an example, I buy a laptop, I get myself a keyboard, mouse, and maybe monitors. That's our cross-sell. And upsell is I'm buying a new laptop, and it's all about memory and warranty and the whole lot. So I might have a budget of, $1,500, but you've talked me into spending $2,200 because it's a better buy. I just want to make sure that everyone's clear with that. But it's a win-win outcome for both customers, or both parties, the customer and the supplier. And the customer's perspective is, it's more value for money. Everyone loves value for money. That was good value for money. And I talked about that at the start. When you go and spend your good hard-earned cash, do you feel like you've got good value for money? And the supplier's perspective is that they've made more money through cross-selling and upselling. And it's true, right? Because with the more that we value add, the more that we cross-sell and upsell, I think is the better it is for the company. And what happens is you get more repeat business, Google reviews and referrals, and more revenue for your company. We've all done this. We've all purchased a product and gone back and said, look, I'm really not happy with this product. And the customer says, well, why didn't you get this and this with it? And then it's like, well, I didn't ask for it. So why didn't you recommend it in the first place? And I put that down to poor sales experience, poor customer service attitude as well. So I talk about what I talked about before. We want people to go above and beyond, and we want people to try and make a big difference to their clients. So the benefits is really pretty simple. The employee benefit, right, of having a really good sales engine in your business. And we talked about customer service, but cross-selling, upselling is sales 101. But it motivates your employees to do meaningful work, deliver good outcomes, and be on a winning team. So if you can build that culture with your business, then you're really going to go well. Employees see growth opportunities for the company, so they can say, well, okay, we're getting somewhere, we're growing, this is going really, really well. Employees see personal development opportunities as well. So again, if you've got specialized area in your business, is that an area that I can grow into? And, I think the big one, employees have career satisfaction and job security. There is nothing better than talking to your team about Google reviews we get, or complimenting them on work that we do within KBA, and we know that our team feel good. What does it do for the business? Well, consistency, revenue, and cash flow is the big thing, right? For every business to survive, post this pandemic. So we need to make sure that that's happening. It allows also the company to invest in people and other products and services. So, again, what other product and service can we add that contribute to the business? It helps the company be sustainable and have a competitive advantage. And it impacts directly on the bottom line of the business growth and profits. And again, in companies, we're all in business to try and make a good profit. And, I think that's really, really important. Like, you've got to make money to be sustainable in today's world. So are there any questions that, based on what I've gone through, that you want to throw into the question box? I'll just open that up. There's a question box there. Anyone wants to ask me some questions? And while we're doing that, I'll just go through and, for more information, if you want to learn more about customer centricity, there's a link to our website on customer centricity. If you want to learn more about sales, then, I have an online training program, which is actually in 2 weeks. No, next Wednesday, that's right, Wednesday week, which you can go and register and jump on board. And then, if you're a company and you've got a team of people, and I've just been on the phone to a client this morning, got 12 professional salespeople, then we can customize a training program for your business. So I'll just put that out there. I still have any questions come through, so I'll also see that as a good sign. Our next webinar is on the 5th of December, the best ways to reflect 2022. And so it's just understanding the importance of going through the highs and lows of 2022, the value of reflecting the milestone moments and celebrating with your team, and then why good records of praise will have staff return in 2023. That's our next webinar. So I just want to say I've got no questions, but thank you very, very much. If you've got a question you want to ask outside the webinar, feel free to email us and go and have a look at our website. These are all the products and services that we offer. And I just want to say thank you very, very much for being on this webinar today and registering. For those who, we had over 20 odd people registered for the webinar. So for those who that haven't been on today, there will be a recording that will be put up on our website about this time next week, and they'll also get a message, an email sent to them as well, letting them know that they can go and download it. If you've liked our webinar today, please feel free to give us a Google review. We live by our Google reviews, and it's your endorsements that helps us stay in business and get that repeat business. Okay, and that concludes the webinar. So thanks very much, everyone, and have a great week.